I am standing between you and lunch. I would like to finish this presentation in another 45 minutes or so. But let me tell you, I have got a lot of food for mind in this presentation. If you allow me, even beyond that, it would be in your interest. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Monica ji, for introducing me. And I would like to convey my sincere thanks to Mr. Chawla, MGS Chawla, who basically called me up 3 days back and asked about my schedule. I was there in Delhi. I said I can take this session. Thank you very much for arranging this session on this particular topic. So, on the top of it, I am putting a disclaimer because I have used video clippings in this presentation, which is, just to educate the people. I'm not going to make commercial use of it. So that tomorrow I should not be prosecuted for the same that without their permission, I have taken the video clippings. So this is this. Now, let me set the context. You would be somewhere thinking like, why and how come this topic is relevant for the company secretaries, right? As a company secretary and advisor to the board, you have responsibility as a compliance officer as well. Under this new law, what all need to be complied with is also there. You have to basically advise your HR department what kind of policies should be there, how the notice has to be displayed, and what is the legal provision on it. Because earlier policy which were there pursuant to that, few companies are having that kind of policy which was under the say Supreme Court guidelines, Visakhapatnam versus State of Rajasthan, that need to be revised under the new law. Under the new law, ICC is basically empowered like a court. CPC powers are given it. So how to use that? How many copies of complaint has to be made? Everything is covered in this presentation. Then what is amount to sexual harassment? What is not? If you are say doing within the limit, you are basically doing some kind of taking. What I mean to say, if you are having a team member and you want to do the counseling, if she is not doing a proper job, it should not be amount to consider as a sexual harassment. So I am going to cover that as well. One thing I would advise to remember to my male colleagues, whenever you are interacting with a female, you have to be extraordinarily careful. I am no one to empower a woman. Law has already empowered them. I am here just to educate them, to motivate them how this law can be used. So remember that even when the intentions are good, the impact of our communication may not say appear so. How is that? I am going to cover up in this presentation. When I was basically starting from home, my wife said that, what are you doing? I said, I am going to take this presentation on this gender sensitivity at workplace. I think I gender sensitivity at home bhi kar diya karo. I said, fine. Once I am finishing this, then I will come back and then we will sit together and tell me what is your issue. So it's like that. So on the lighter side, I could see on the Facebook of it, then he says, husband is head of family. Then what is wife? She is neck, and head cannot move without that. So now you are working in the corporate sector, wherein you would be having female bosses as well as female team members as well. You have to be extraordinarily careful while say basically dealing with that. One thing, what was the need of having this new law? Supreme Court has already prescribed the guidelines under that Visakhapatnam versus State of Rajasthan. See, there was no law as such. There were guidelines. Companies were complied to basically whether it is a PSC or a private company. They were supposed to comply with it, but a number of corporates were not complying with it. So there was a law which was required. There was basically that in absence of a domestic law occupying this field, and to formulate effective measures to check the evil of the sexual harassment of workplace, this law was required. And recent unprecedented incidents from, you call it workplace, whether it is in Supreme Court, whether it was, say, very senior person in working in an organization. That was second time that report came that he was convicted under this. I'm not going to take name of them. Spiritual gurus are also behind the bar. Till date they are behind the bar. So laws required reason being, at your home places as well, घर में काम करने वाली आती है. Even she is also protected under this act. So it was must to have that. And secondly, this law was there. It was basically drafted long time back. I believe in 2000. That time it was drafted and it was supposed to be promulgated, but pardon my saying so, there were women's rights, etc., which were against that. There is a particular section in this act. Section 14 is there. In case you make a false complaint, action can be taken against women as well. So generally it is perceived that a woman doesn't make false complaint. However, accusation must be equated with the proofs. Companies are extremely uncomfortable with women who are having filed as such complaints. How to deal with that? I am going to cover it in this presentation. It also cast and created a shadow on their professional career and future empowerment. This future employment, that is also true. We will see this basically, how to basically deal with it. Yesterday I was going through one article. It's not, I think, 4th March. It is published in Mint. Financial securities paramount. So we have to understand what their thinking is. They are different from us. If you have a daughter at home, you would be pampered. So similarly, if you have a team member, you can pamper them. What's the issue? Not a big issue. In between also I am going to share a lot of stories. Like in 2006, when I was working in Honda, I got an offer from Paro System, and I was supposed to go to a lady. My wife, knowing me better than me, he said that you are not going to stay there for very easy, and he is fine. No, be careful. So I thought, fine, I will take it as a challenge. First 6 months, of course, was a little bit difficult. It was basically difficult to understand. But thereafter, it was like this. When I put my papers after 1 year to join Aisha Motors, she was the one who used to leave her seat and say, Rajesh, this seat is for you, because after 1 year I'm going to get married and you can have this position. I said no, because I'm basically using for working in a estate company, so I won't go for it. So what I mean to say, at times it looks like it would be difficult. I can understand, but I felt during that 1 year period, rather I will say during the first 6 months time, very emotional. If their mood is good, if you have done even a blunder, it's fine with that. But if their mood is bad, if you have done a wonderful job, then you have to have it. So bear with that, right? So how to prepare yourself? There is not a one way or even a standard process you can follow. However, there are some hygiene factors that can put in place, which I am going to cover up in this presentation. The foremost is the communication. Talk to your spouse or even your team members whenever you are talking to them about the financial matters, family monthly income, like that. These cannot be discussed with your team members. And you try to take them in confidence. If you are going to take a particular decision or you are going to change certain things, working styles in your organization, take them in confidence. It should not so happen that only male members are discussing it and female members have been told subsequently that this is a decision which you have taken. Include them in that discussion as well. So I will say that women are already empowered, but it's more about educating and motivating them. It is important for a woman to learn how to read fine print of complicated products. That is one. And secondly, what are the legal provisions under the new act I am going to cover in this presentation. I have got with Dipanti Kapoor with me. She is a professional trainer on this subject. She was undergoing management training in NIIT when I was there. She has completed her training and now she is a professional trainer. So since this is a Women's Day, so I would request her to come here and give the presentation. I will pop up wherever it is required. The objective of this presentation is to educate participants on the guidelines issued by Honorable Supreme Court, to educate participants on these particular acts, create an understanding of inappropriate behavior at workplace, right? To guide participants about the legal mechanism available for the redressal of grievance relating to sexual harassment. One thing, what I firmly believe, generally, that is the power which is not given by court to us, that is given to women only. They have got sixth sense. They know something is going wrong. If some fellow is behaving in a particular manner, why he is doing it, right? Using that, someone is coming up with that kind of offer, which is very lucrative, and you can't resist yourself to no to it, but you have to read between those lines what he exactly wants. To make it, to understand that, there is a small clipping of video which I would like to run, and you can see it from there. Just give me. Anyway, I will take it subsequently. You can cover it. I will show you that.
So first of all, I'd like to wish all the men and women Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's.
I know it's a Saturday afternoon, but I think I deserve to be wished back in a better way. After all, Happy Women's Day. If you haven't noticed, I'm a woman. So let's hear it. Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's
All the
Day.
women, come on.
Happy Women's Day.
There we go. So on this day, we're here to celebrate. Are we here to celebrate actually the woman? So before we go on, before we start on, I'd like to ask you people, why does this one day, out of the 365 days of the calendar, why does this one woman day? Can anyone want to try?
No, every day is a Women's Day because the women dominate all the time, At home.
Then we shouldn't have this discussion at all.
Any better answer
This
than
is the
that?
situation.
I mean, there's no right answer, but I'm open to opinions right now. Why Women's Day? Just why? Why do you think it's even justified to assign just one day out of the entire calendar to those women who are so important, such important parts of our lives? They're our mothers, sisters, daughters, wives, girlfriends, or maybe both. I don't think so. I believe that Women's Day is not a day where we are only celebrating the womanhood, or trying to empower the woman. It's something of the sort where I believe it's not just the woman, it's the humanity which we're celebrating. Because at the end of the day, if we see, if a woman can be abducted, raped, and left to die, even a man, same thing can happen to a man, can't it? In a society like ours, where we worship the divine power in the form of a lady, in the form of a woman, I think I totally fail to understand where does those atrocities that are taking place in our country, not only in our country, but all over the world, that are happening against women. I absolutely fail to understand where do those statements that come from our social thinkers? By the way, do you guys know that chow mein, that Chinese noodle, I think it should be banned from Delhi. Does anyone know why?
Because they are Chinese.
According to certain science, chow-mein is one of the reasons why men, get induced to like sexually.
Yeah, they get sexually aroused, as they say. So, that's my advice to all the young ladies over here. Stay away from a man who's having chocolate. No matter where you are, stay away from a man who's having chocolate. So, such are the things that are going around the society nowadays that I believe are, excuse me for my language, but are absolute nonsense. We're here today not to empower the woman, not to create a difference, not to create lines between the genders, but we're here to celebrate humanity, to respect, because this is where we're lacking. I think it is the humanity that we have failed to respect. And we, as legal professionals, we can do this just by understanding the law, not by the word, but by its spirit, by the spirit of the lawmaker. Moving on. The objectives of this presentation, as Sir has already gone through them, can you explain this to me a little?
Small video, excuse me for that, but this is the reality as well.
Stock options. And above all, he will be offered a senior vice president's position. He will report it directly to me. Virtually, a CEO's destiny. How's the offer?
It sounds too good to be true.
So, would you like to join that? So why that fellow is giving that kind of lucrative offer? It's very clear. So, just to make this presentation alive and interesting, I have taken from say few clippings from one of the picture which is there. This thing we have to understand. Man versus woman. We are different. Our clothes are different. So we have to understand that and respect that, respect for whatever they are and we are. Our thinking is also different. You consider this. This is a nice look. You consider this. If we want to buy something, how our minds work and how female minds work. This is a nice slide of that. From here, she will take it. Thanks.
Well, if we get to the technicalities of this, we can divide harassment into two forms of harassment. There's one, we can say, verbal form of harassment, and later we'll see non-verbal forms of harassment. When we talk about verbal, it obviously means, whatever you say, whatever the words that you say, unwelcome innuendos, inappropriate suggestions and hints. That happens a lot in the workplace. I'm sure all of us, at some point of our time, some point in our lives, have worked in a workplace and have encountered some sort of weird personalities who don't think before talking, don't consider that who they're talking to is a lady, is a woman, and she deserves the due respect and the due mannerisms to talk to. Sexual advances in verbal forms, like passing comments with sexual overtones, unnecessarily sexual jokes. I don't think a workplace is in any way appropriate for passing any kind of jokes that has a sexual overtone to it. Insults. We're not here to insult each other. We're here at a workplace, all of us are equals. No matter you're a boss, you're the MD of the company, or whoever, we're equals. And we have no right to insult anyone, be it a man or a woman. Comment on someone's body or someone's clothes. Many a times you see people commenting on someone's, someone's jeans, someone's trousers, and unnecessarily pulling legs. And it depends on what sort of a relationship you maintain with that colleague of yours. If they're comfortable, if you're on good terms, if you're really good friends, then I think it's okay. As long as it's not objectionable, I think it's okay. But when it is objectionable, where the line should be crossed, it's very much something that the woman should also take care of. She should draw her lines. But the men should also realize this thing, that there is a certain line that they are not allowed to go over. Now these are a few situations. We cannot recreate the workplace right here, over here in this short span of time of 1 hour. But we can at least try to create a few situations for you. And I want your participation on this. It's been a long day, and the last participant, Monica, walks in to present a proposal. One of the people present there say, "Thank God, life just got better. At least now we have a pretty place to look at." Now, how many of you think, who should I project the question to? I think to all of us. How many of you think it was the right thing to say? Or it was the wrong thing to say? Or are we okay with it? Just maybe show of hands. Was it okay? Was it not okay? Okay? Okay or not? Okay? Sorry?
Not okay.
I guess. So we have two okays, and others are just don't choose to express an opinion, I guess. Randhir is one of the key stakeholders in the meeting. He ensures that everybody gets the paraphernalia for the meeting. A member comments, "You are such a darling." Any of the men over here, I'm sure all of us over here, at least in our 20s, 25 or above, how many of the men over here would like to be called darling? Anyone? Okay, who would not like to be called? Not, or would you like to? Not. There you go. We have an opinion. A female employee comes to office on a Friday wearing capri pants. Her colleague comments upon her how she ran out of cloth and had to wear short pants. Not okay. Not okay at all. I think all the women agree on that. So I hope this will get across the idea better. My words came out fine. They were processed incorrectly by your brain. Many times this happens. I'm not saying that in every situation the person who said these words, irrespective of the fact if it's a man or a woman, said them with the wrong intention, but many times the person in front of you maybe processed it in the wrong way or not in the way that you meant it to be. So we have to be careful, I think, of the relationship that we share with that person. If it's a senior person, senior in A, senior in post, however. But these are a few things that always should be kept in mind. This is sort of a situation that maybe, I hope not, but many of the women I'm sure have faced during their careers in the corporates. Last night we got together and decided, leaving the lady out of the team of a whole bunch of men. Has that ever happened to anyone of us over here? Has it? How did you feel?
Very bad, because I'm not normally a part of the dinner, etc., what they keep on having, and many decisions do take place over the dinner.
True. Yeah, see
So
that
that is very important today. And women are normally not allowed to socialize like that. They have
Exactly.
rules and constraints at home.
That is wrong, but that is not amount to sexual harassment.
That is not a mansplaining.
I'm saying, yes, as a behavior, it is wrong. I'm not advocating that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just clarifying it, please. This is not a harm.
So this is where the gender sensitization comes in. That I think even if you've made a decision without the presence of that one specific team member, if it's a woman or a man, whoever, I think it should be very clearly communicated. Because the sort of constraints that you're talking about, might in the modern life, it's not only the woman who has those constraints. I think even a man has constraints such as maybe he has to take care of the kids at home. He's the one who's doing the dishes. He's the one who's cooking. Anything can happen. So we should create this balance. And it's upon all of us, it's an individual thing that we all should create the balance. And only then it can come out in the bigger picture. Being the brick so woman. How many of you got this ever in your life? Not on your face, I suppose. Maybe talked about it at your back. Anyone? No? Well, then it's a good sign. Then now we come on to the non-verbal forms of harassment. Unwelcome gestures, indecent exposure, display of sexually explicit pictures in any sort of media, in any way, unwanted conduct of sexual nature, unwanted physical contact. I'm sure such things have happened a lot. Maybe not, I'm not saying all of them were true. Whatever cases that come up are actually true. But it happens lots of the time, and the woman, I think, is in that fix where she does not know how to react. Because if she will react, it will create other problems for her. And if she does not, then she just has to silently go with it.
And maybe she's encouraging that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Even that's possible. Encouraging that. That's where the misuse of the law comes in, I suppose. Thank you. Moving on. Now this is an activity, and I really want you guys to participate a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. These are different types of gestures, body languages, a list of them. All I want you to do is, as I go down, I just want a show of hands. I'm sure all of us being company secretaries are very well aware of show of hands. Those who attended an AGM. Please, what do you think is appropriate and what do you think is not appropriate?
We have not made the arrangements for e-voting for this.
So, handshakes. How many of you think it's appropriate? Everyone, pretty much. 199%.
I would like to add, again, using that sixth sense. That's what, at times my wife says.
Well, that's
when you shake hands with someone, and you know whether it is a gesture, just welcoming you, or it's an invitation. So that sense is given by go to a female, they can understand that.
That's where the next comes in. Holding hands for too long. It doesn't mean how like that or like that, but even if you're shaking a hand, maybe the handshake is a bit too long. How many of you think it's inappropriate? There you go. Thank you. Leering. If someone doesn't know what leering means to just, look at someone with a expression. Leering. How many of you think it's inappropriate? There we go. Blocking someone's way. Blocking chairs. It's okay. Someone's way. Between chairs. Sorry, I missed myself. Sorry, can I see the hands again?
No, it's inappropriate.
Okay. Staring. Wrong. Very wrong. Totally wrong. Hugging. Can't decide? Show of hands. Hugging. Who think it's inappropriate? See, the number of hands have gone down. I think it's very much dependent on the relationship that you share with your colleague. Don't you think? Depending on the culture of the company, of the organization. man or a woman, he knows what they're doing. They know what's being communicated through that body language, through that touch. It's just, we should know when to react and when not to. I agree. I totally. It's a very cultural thing. If you go down west, in the European country, I think hugging or even a peck on the cheeks is a very, very normal course of the social interaction. If you go down in the Middle East, men give each other pecks on the cheeks, which is weird for a European, but I think it's absolutely okay in their society, in their culture.
Yesterday it was normal. Yesterday it was normal. Again was normal.
Acha.
That's the reason we said that it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
One day
That one day becomes good. Kaise bura na mano holi hai, do whatever you want. Situation. How about batting? Like a pat on the shoulder, on the back. It's okay. Appropriate, inappropriate.
Appropriate.
Okay, now that's acceptable. Okay. Grabbing. Absolutely wrong. That's where you have to go see the ICC. What was done and what was felt? Now these are again 2-3 situations we'll go through. Ritu has been working under Praveen, or I should say with Praveen would be more appropriate, for 8 years. They share a friendly rapport, and Praveen gives her a pat on the back to show appreciation. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay, yeah. No? No, that gentleman.
It all depends upon the woman, how she takes it. I'm going to cover up that.
Yeah, he's going to cover up that part. After great client presentation, your colleague spontaneously gives you a hug. Spontaneously gives you a hug. While that moment it feels like a harmless hug, you don't like physical contact by an unfamiliar person. Not okay? Okay? Not okay.
Speak up. I can hear. Also depends on the person who is hugging you. Like it's a short 6 10 who understand, but his intention to hug you. His not a intention how to just to make a
Why again and again?
that's inappropriate. But if it is only a session, that's okay.
I'm so happy to see everyone being so involved. I think everyone can relate to this topic very much, personally relate to this topic. Moving on. A colleague that you have known for years and can vouch for his character comes over and starts massaging your shoulders.
This has happened with my brother-in-law, who is working as an AVP in one of the companies, a chartered accountant. He has got a female boss. And one fine day, that lady was basically, so he said that, what to say, he said, yeah, we can. That's the only way we can reach basically, because, I'm sorry, this is Women's Day, but there are 49 acts which protects a woman, there is not even a single act which protects a man. I cannot complain about this one.
Most of the time, women are the sufferers. That's why there are so many laws for the women
I'm
and
not
not for the
against
men.
You know why there's so many acts protecting the woman and not even one for the man? Because they know women are very smart and sensitive. They will never let anything wrong happen to the men. So that's wrong.
Generally, what I believe law is made to protect the weaker section of the society. Right? But do you agree? As
I have a simple, a small thing what I want to say. You said that the weaker section of the society. Now, who made these females realize that they are the weaker section?
I'm simply stating that today, can we say that females are weaker section of the society?
Generally males doesn't. These are the females who let them decent. Even you can give, I'll just simply ask you one thing. Out of 1 to 10, how much marks you are gonna give to the females itself? See, I'm telling a very clear fact. How much marks you would like to give to the females for being themselves responsible for the activities or allowing them to, for these kinds of activities?
See, you cannot just say that 5% or 10% or 90%. It is like this, it depends upon case to case. And we have not made the law, we are here to interpret that. We will cover up in that presentation. going to cover up that part as well.
Okay, one last one. Your boss walks up to you and holds your hand, rubs your shoulder, and strokes your hair. How many of us will enjoy that? No one. That is absolutely unacceptable. Oh, there's one more. Lena is walking inside the office and one of her colleagues looks at her up and down. Not okay. But I'm sure all of us, all of the women sitting in this room, maybe some of the men even, have sooner or later in their lives will experience this or have already experienced such people around them. So, an absolute not acceptable. Looking a person up and down, elevator eyes, what we just discussed. Stare at someone for too long. Blocking paths. Sexual inappropriate gestures. Facial expressions, like what? Winking, blowing kisses. Not that. Just stay away. These are absolutely not acceptable. Right, women? Yes. I need the participation. And most importantly for most of the people, maintain coordination between your eyes and your tongue. Because I think many of the people, I'm not saying men or women. Please don't take it as me targeting the men only. Just saying everyone. Maintain coordination. It's not that hard. Seriously, we won't need any yoga or anything to do this, but it's not that hard. Maintain coordination between your eyes and your tongue. How to say a no. At times saying a no becomes a little hard, doesn't it? So a firm and a subtle way to say no. Back away. For those situations where there's a hug and all, a colleague just randomly hugs you and you don't like it, and you don't want to be mean in expressing that, just back away. And I think such a body language is good enough to tell anyone, it's not okay. Nahi chalega aisa. Be clear, be firm. You have to say it. If it's gone above your head, just say it. Be clear, be firm. Uske baad jo hoga dekha jayega. But for that point of time, be clear, be firm. Say a certain no. Convey a no loud and clear. And a clearly communicated no can avoid situations, can avoid big blunders in an organization many times. Just a clearly communicated no. Instead of letting it happen and boiling it, and then it's piling up inside you, it's piling up around you, it's affecting your work. Then you're shouted upon by your boss about you haven't done your work isn't up to the mark. To stay away from all that, just say it. What was happened and what got talked about? Now these are behavioral situations. It's not about anyone's body language. Maybe you're very good friends with someone at the organization, and for you some things are absolutely okay. But there are people around you who might talk about it, and it might come back to you in a very, very bad way. Meenakshi is traveling with her colleague Ashish.
This is to cover up situations when you are traveling, you are out of office.
Meenakshi is traveling with her colleague Ashish to Bangalore. They have an important meeting and their presentation still needs some work. Ashish tells her they should come post-dinner to his room to finish it. Is that okay?
No.
That's a no. Who else? I want those people to be found.
Not okay. Not okay.
Not okay. An office party, your colleague gets drunk, behaves inappropriately, and his boss, with a boss, and a female colleague. He has to be carried out of this party by other colleagues. Do you think that was right?
Yes, it is.
That was right. He gets drunk.
He's
at an
being
office
taken
party.
out was right. Probably they
I think he
went.
was taken out.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's being taken out was
No, but
right.
getting drunk. I mean, why was he supposed to be carried out? I mean, no one wants that, I'm sure. But getting drunk at an office party, do you think I was right? Free ki daru mili hai, chalo bhai. The typical mentality. Please say it.
Definitely
no.
not.
Absolutely no. Because an office party, an office meeting, though it's happening outside office, though it's happening outside the state, maybe in a different state, a different country, it's still an office away from office, and we should all maintain the same decorum that we are supposed to maintain at our workplace.
Under law, it would be extension of office. Like that.
Yeah, extension of office, there's a concept. A car likes a girl at his customer's office and sends her emails from his official email ID during official hours. Do you think that was smart? Sorry? He likes the girl. What kind of emails do you think he will send? Sorry? Was that right or wrong? Say it, one word. Wrong. I'm sure there are better other ways to approach a girl, isn't there? Sorry, you were saying?
That's enough for you.
Oh, what's that? Okay. But you have to have a number for that, right?
Mike?
Sorry? So, draw the line. Just basic points that all of us should always keep in mind. Now, that's irrespective of your man or woman. Never get drunk at an office party, at an office event. Never ever. A colleague's hotel room, not appropriate place for an official meeting. Not at all. Right?
Right.
Sorry?
Right.
Yes. Personal questions?
Not right. Not okay.
No. Okay, what do you do if you're being asked personal questions? What do we do?
It's none of your business.
Sorry?
It's none of your
Come to
business.
the topic.
So you can say something.
Say an assertive no. Remember? It was just 2 slides back. You forgot it already. Come on, ladies. What do? We say a firm no. Set personal boundaries. Every one of us should do that. No matter how good of a workplace, how good the people are, it's fine, make friends and everything, but always set the boundaries. Ensure a woman's comfort first. That's like the basic etiquette, that's the basic manners. If you're traveling in a car, with your colleagues, and there are 3 men and a single lady, I think 3 men are sitting at the back, the lady should be allowed to have the front seat, so she's comfortable. Isn't that so? That's the basic courtesy. Sorry? That would be, then people will have problems with... No, not only expensive. People will have, the other people in the organization will have problems. There is a biasness, special treatment for the women, quota for the women.
And secondly, in case you are sending it after 7:30, you are providing care plus security guard.
And last one, official gatherings are not social gatherings. It's the same thing that, if you're at a social gathering, if you're at a personal party, at a wedding of your friend, your relatives, it's okay to get drunk, do a little crazy stuff. But when you're at an office party, it's an office extension. Know that. No matter what, no matter how. You have to maintain the same decorum as you maintain at the workplace with your colleagues. Well, after this, I'll request boss. I'm sorry, boss. Mr.
Flowers, I would like to give you.
Thank you.
So, then what is okay? We have seen till now.
Yes, sir.
But it's not okay. Within limits, if you do all these things, I'm saying within limits, then are acceptable and not considered as sexual harassment. performance counseling, social interaction, showing concern. Once in a while, fine. Every day you start showing your concern, that is not fine. Encouragement, polite compliment. Generally, very loosely these words are being used. I think that presentation is invested. Or it is not there because before coming here we were just finalizing this presentation. Just give me a second. Very loosely these words are being used. Hot and sexy. Why? What for? Guys, you have to control your emotions. If you want to really compliment someone, you are looking nice. It will not be amount to sexual harassment, but don't cross limit. Friendly conversation is also not amount to sexual harassment. So, going one step ahead, I will say, if you admire someone, admiring is not enough. You can admire. Again, you have to control whatever just Dipanti has covered up in slides. Complimenting is again not an offense. Crossing limit is an offense. If you cross limit, then it would be amount to sexual harassment. So, what to say? Mind your business, mind your language, both verbal as well as body language. At times, you are not saying something, your body is listening. So be extraordinarily careful when you are dealing with female members. That's a piece of advice I would like to give. When there would be a complaint, what would be the scene of ICC room? Let us visualize that through this video clip.
Of course वो deny करेगा. Of course वो कहेगा कि मैं झूठ बोल रही हूँ. मैं नहीं जानती कि मुझे कोई जरूरत है या नहीं है. लेकिन वो मुझे हैरेस कर रहा है. That's the fact. सच को झूठ को सच साबित करना बहुत आसान है उसके लिए इस कामदार. That's his job. बाहर से तो राहुल, माया, great team, professionals. अंदर जो गंदगी, जो mental torture मुझे सहना पड़ता है ना, मैं वो आपको यहाँ बैठ के नहीं समझा सकती. यहाँ काम करना मुश्किल हो गया है. This is becoming impossible.
Right? Something like that. Let me tell you, I have handled 6 cases. I said I have handled 6 cases. I have not faced even a single one. So, because I know what is to be done, what is not to be done. So, be mindful. Right? There is another video. You can say that then what is amount to sexual harassment? You are giving a compliment to a lady. Let us see it from this another video.
वो हरासमेंट था नहीं था क्या था मुझे नहीं पता था, लेकिन आप तो एक्सपर्ट हैं तो आप ही बता दीजिए.
फ्लर्टेशन जब औरत को पसंद ना हो तो हैरेसमेंट बन जाता है.
Really?
Depends on the woman.
तो आप ही बताइए मिसेस कामला कि हरासमेंट और फ्लर्टिंग के बीच में डिवाइडिंग लाइन क्या है? क्योंकि वैसे तो कोई कुछ भी कह सकता है, राइट? शायद आपको बिल्कुल अंदाजा नहीं मिसेस कामला, लेकिन उस आली साली आप बहुत खूबसूरत लग रही हैं.
Okay, get the point.
सुना और आपको ये बुरा लगा या अच्छा लगा? फ्लर्टिंग था, हरासमेंट था, लेकिन उस
Now we are coming to the legal provision. Internal complaint committee need to be constituted by all the companies. Presiding officer should be a senior level female. This is basically, while you are drafting a policy, you can make like that. At least, I'm just touching up those provisions which are must. At least one half of the members of ICC shall be women. The period of ICC presiding officer or any member shall not exceed 3 years. Regarding NGO, we are facing that problem. because the kind of fees which is prescribed under the rules is just 200 rupees for per day hearing. Which NGO is going to join? No one. Because it says, law says 200 rupees plus actual reimbursement. So to have that kind of tie-up with the NGOs, my advice to you would be, give them some kind of, say, as per this law, you have to conduct these sessions on this particular topic. So give them some, say, sessions on that topic, you can pay them. So that way, basically, they can recover their cost. As far as NGO is concerned, they must have at least 5 years experience in the field of social work, empowerment of women, right? Wherever the offices of administration or units of workplace located more than one place, ICC had to be basically incorporated in all those places. We are saying ICC shall have civil court, say basically powers, but tell me, there is a basically case against someone. After that, he has resigned and left the organization. What you can do? If he has done it, he has crime. That matter can be reported to the police, right? And then they will law will take its own course. But beyond that, you can't hang them. I am saying ICC has been given that power of civil court. But like a civil court, if you have issued a summon, that fellow is not coming up with that proceedings. What you can do? You can't issue arrest warrant. ICC is not empowered to issue arrest warrant. And even if you have issued it, who is going to basically arrest them? Police is not going to listen to you. So this is a lacuna in law as of now, what I could say. Complaints, inquiry and redressal. In your policy, you can cover it. You can report to reporting manager, functional head, IBU head, business HR. In few companies, we are having people engagement managers. To them, this can be routed through. Complaints to be filed in writing, 6 copies along with this 40 document, if any, and names and address of witnesses, preferably within 3 months from the date of occurrence of alleged incidents. Right. Section 12 says that during the pendency of an inquiry, aggrieved woman may ask for transfer, leave for 3 months in addition to her entitlement. These are the basically additional benefits given to a female. There is a question which was asked to me when I was taking this session, this kind of session somewhere else. So, who is going to bear the travel cost of the person, accused person, as well as the person, aggrieved woman? Company has to bear it. In your policy, you can add that back. Then this is the process. ICC has to hand over 1 copy of the complaint to the accused within a period of 7 working days, and give him time not exceeding 10 days to respond. After completing the inquiry, ICC shall proceed to report to company and parties within 10 days from completion of inquiry. There is another question which was asked to me, a very interesting question that could be basically, you can also face that kind of problem. There is an inquiry going on, and that lady is not satisfied with the findings of the ICC or recommendation of the ICC. That fellow, accused guy, he has given in writing or say admitted that yeah, he has done something wrong, and that is given it to ICC. Can that be used by that lady in the court of law as basically confession of his statement? Confession of his say act? So law is silent on that. The only thing is, it is written that confidentiality has to be maintained. So according to me, if you see section 16 of this act, it says that notwithstanding anything contained in the RTI, you see, once ICC finishes its work, they have to report to management, and then it is obligation on the company to report to district officers. Their names would not be there, only number of cases reported, and then what kind of action they have taken it. Within 90 days, if action is not taken, they have to report in writing why action is not taken. or why the proceedings have not been completed within 90 days. So that thing is there. But by filing an RTI, you cannot take away that information. That confidentiality has to be maintained. So if you ask me, this cannot be given into that
So humble
lady.
request not to leave. Excuse me. We
Not
are
an issue.
concluding within few minutes, please.
So in case allegation is not proved, no action is required to be taken in that matter. However, in case allegation is proved, ICC shall recommend to the company management. It's not that ICC can take that action by their own. They have to just recommend to the company, and then company has to take an action on that. In one of these key policy, I could see it. They have made managing director as an appellant authority, whereas as per Act, appellant authority could be district officer or the labor officer appointed by the state governments. So if you find that kind of loopholes, you can advise your management to do the corrections in the policy. This is in case of any false allegation or false evidence documentally produced during the proceedings, action can be taken against lady as well. I would like to share another video with you.
हमेशा मर्द गलत नहीं होता, औरत भी गलत हो सकती है, लेकिन हमारा माइंडसेट है। अगर कोई मर्द किसी औरत को थप्पड़ मारता है, तब हम कहते हैं कि बड़ा जालिम मर्द है, और अगर कोई औरत किसी मर्द को थप्पड़ मारती है, तब भी हम कहते हैं कि जरूर मर्द ने कुछ बदतमीजी की होगी। हर हाल में हम मर्द को ही गलत समझते हैं। मैं ये नहीं कहती और कि हर औरत गलत है, लेकिन मिसेस सोनिया जैसी औरतें भी इस दुनिया में हैं, जो अपने फायदे के लिए कुछ भी कर सकती।
Provision is there, it is remain intact. So what I mean to say, it's like kind of right is given it to you, but it is coming with the responsibilities as well. 498A, you know, as on date, Supreme Court has come up with the guidelines. In 84, I think it was brought in, and today even there is a movie on that. It is being misused left, right, and center. You know, when I was doing my LLB, let me tell you, I have got 3 sisters, elder sisters, but unfortunately I am not having a daughter. So that time, that was a time when you people asked for dowry. So when I was doing law, so I used to think that I have to start an NGO for women. And when I started my practice in 92, 93, I could see, because my maternal uncle was dealing in, say, matrimonial cases. That was the time. But in 99, 90, 2000, I could see the kind of cases are there. 498 is being used, misused left, right, and center. This is the law to protect the woman. Use it appropriately. Don't misuse it. That's what my piece of advice to you. Otherwise, you know, it is a new enactment. It is yet to be tested in the court of law. Court has not tested it. There's even I could not find even a single judgment on this act as of now. Although companies cases are going on. What kind of disciplinary action can be taken? Action for sexual harassment as a misconduct in accordance with service rule. Service rule needed to be in case this is not there. Deduction from salary and all this kind of thing. Disciplinary action like written apology, warning, withholding of promotion, withholding of pay rise, increment and termination of employment. But again, something, if someone has done something really very serious, raped someone, then in that case ICC is basically not going to kind of say proceedings and all that. They are under the obligation to report the matter to the police. They have to report the matter and help that lady in getting it reported. Appeal against the ICC findings can be made to appellate tribunal notified by the respective state. That's what I just said. Confidentiality I have already covered. Displayed. The penal consequences, as you know, in the factories and in the shop and establishment, you will see gratuity rules, right? Those kind of rules are there. That has to be shop and establishment registration is also to be displayed. Similarly, panel provisions of this act has to be displayed. If you don't display it, there is a penalty of 50,000 rupees. So you need to advise your management accordingly. What kind of reporting is required? ICC shall in each calendar year prepare in such forms and time as may be prescribed annual report and submit the same to the company and the district officer. Number of complaints received during the year, number of complaints disposed of, number of cases pending for more than 90 days, they have to record the reasons thereof why it is pending, number of workshops and awareness programs carried out, number of action taken by the employer. And mind you, this disclosure has to be made in the annual report as well. Duties of the employers are basically defined under section 19. This is what we have already covered. So besides that, I have just told you that company is supposed to organize these workshops and awareness programs at regular intervals for sensitizing the employees about this issue, carrying out orientation programs, seminars, capacity building and skill building programs for members of ICC in manner as may be prescribed, that is yet to be prescribed, provide necessary facilitation to ICC for dealing with the complaints and contacting the employees. Highlight one, I have just shared with you, provide assistance to a woman if so chooses to file a complaint in relation to offence under the Indian Penal Code or any other law for time being enforced. Treat sexual harassment as a misconduct under the service rule. Service rule is not having this clause, please amend that. Monitor timely submission of reports by ICC. On this, I think Dipanti has got another story to tell you.
Just one last little story that I usually like telling at other gender sensitivity programs that I've conducted. So once upon a time, there was a woman, a beautiful woman. She was so beautiful that even the lords were mesmerized of her beauty. One day, Lord Indra notices her, and immediately he decides to have his way with her. Now what happens? He comes down to the earth, deceives her, molests her, leaves her to die, and goes away. And there is only one witness to this entire scene, and the witness is a one-eyed monkey who's watching all this from a tree nearby. Meanwhile, a Brahmin walks by. He sees the entire scene and immediately understands what has happened. He petitions to the higher gods. "Oh Lord, dear Lord, sin has been committed to me. I want justice. And the person responsible for this is Lord Indra." The Lord said, "Okay, if that's what you think has happened, do you have a witness to prove this?" The one-eyed monkey was called upon to give the one-eyed monkey was called upon, and he goes, "Whoop, whoop, whoosh," and whoosh, he goes away. What happens? Then Lord Indra was called upon. Since he's found guilty now, he's called upon and he's asked to perform the Ashwamedha Yajna. The Ashwamedha Yajna was performed, an innocent horse was slaughtered. The Brahmin, he says, he's satisfied. The sin is no longer there. His ego is satisfied. The culprit simply walks away. But what happens to the victim? To the poor victim? Today, it's my humble request to all of you to not be that one-eyed monkey. The Divine has given us, all of you, a gift of voice. I think we should all raise it. Because a crime will take place only if the crime is allowed to happen, if it's let to happen. So, with this message, I leave you guys here and hope that this message stays with us for the rest of the 364 days to come ahead and until we celebrate again, this day again, the next year. Until then, take care and speak up. Thank you.
Thanks, the party, for all your help. And with this, I end my presentation. Yeah, that's, I can't hear you.
As you mentioned that you have 106 cases,
Yeah.
so I think you are the best person to answer this question.
Sorry, I could not hear you. Can you come
forward?
this side?
The 6 cases you have handled.
Yes, yes, that's I can hear it. But what is your question?
Yeah, so question is, under section 20 and 21 of the Sexual Harassment Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act, we need to file annual report. So there are 2 sections. One says committee to file annual report and the second says employer to file annual report. So I just need the clarity.
See, it is like this. Obligation on ICC is to file the annual report to district officer, whereas the company is under the obligation to basically cover up that in their annual return. Sorry, this thing. What do you call it? Annual report, balance sheet.
But as the section goes, as the language in the section goes, it says the ICC or the local committee, as the case may be, needs to file the annual report in the prescribed, annual return in the prescribed format to the employer and the district officer.
See, you are covering up that, whereas ICC is not incorporated, then that complaint can go to local district office.
So in case a company already has the ICC.
If company is not having ICC, if company is having less than 10 employees, there could be sexual harassment cases. That case will go to, in that case, company is not supposed to have ICC. In that case, that lady can report to local district officer.
And if company is having ICC, then ICC has to report to the management and not to the district officer.
See, on annual basis, they have to report to district officer.
But then the employee has to include it in its annual report and as well as it report to a district officer. Is that so?
See, that obligation I have clearly told you, that obligation is on ICC to report to district officer.
Is
Whereas
that the obligation? That is what my question is.
Sorry?
Does the act impose that obligation? That is what my query is.
That is there, very clearly written there. You yourself has referred the section.
Yes.
Said that ICC or the local district officer. So in case ICC is not there, then it is obligation on the district officer to basically give their recommendation. I believe that you are confusing with that kind of recommendation. I am saying that is an annual report.
Annual report that employer has to include in its annual report.
I am unable to understand your question.
There are 2 parts in this annual report.
Anyone else is having any question? You can talk to me separately. Sorry?
Do you like that? You can have them.
Okay. Anyone else?
Suppose when the ICC refers the matter to the police, and ICC has conducted the inquiry, and it has taken few months, the accused has gone through the entire process of coming, proposing, giving the evidences, and then the ICC refers it to the police. Then the police again is going to do the investigation. Don't you think this is violation of, I was just legally thinking, the principle of double jeopardy. Once the accused has come to depose and give evidence, the second time trial cannot be done. So how this is balanced under the law?
See, it is like this. It depends on the kind of crime. Someone has, I just given them an example, 376. ICC, what the ICC has to do in that? They have to report it to, and moreover, this Evidence Act is also amended. Once it is an allegation on the accused person that this fellow has done this, now onus of proof is on him to prove that he is not guilty. Female has given a statement, good enough. This is, quite stringent. I will say it would be extremely difficult, but at the same time, I'm telling you from my own experience. One lady in our previous organization, she has gone to police stating that, it was like this cost-cutting thing was going on. We said that we are not going to fly so many buses and cabs. She just joined 6 months back, and her probation period was 1 year. She was under probation. So she said that I can't come. If I have to come by my own, it's fine, up to you. You can decide what is required to be done. So give me 3 months notice. You are entitled for 1 month notice. Rather, you have to give us 1 month notice. Why we should give you 3 months notice? She went to the police station. First, she went to economic cell. Therein filed a complaint that company is not paying 3 months salary to me. Basically, that fellow came to us. We basically shown that this is the kind of policy which we have. She is on probation basis. Everything was done. Subsequently, she filed a complaint against that fellow, sexual harassment complaint against that fellow in the police station, Sadar Thana, Gurgaon, right? And named me as well that I am protecting that fellow. And 3 of us were standing in the police station. Police guys knows. He said that I know you have not done anything wrong, but she has written it to women's cell and this and that. I have to take action. I have to put this guy behind the bar. Because what is the issue here? It's matter of how much salary she is getting. 10,000 was a salary for that basic salary. You have to give 3 months notice. It is question of 30,000 rupees. Why don't you pay it and then get out of this problem? My management was very fussy. He said, come what may, it's a matter of principle. We are not going to give it. For 2 days, all these 4 senior officials were standing in the police station. But result is, again, we have to do the compromise, pay her that thing, and get out of this problem. Another, see, I am not naming them, so I am maintaining that confidentiality. There is another case wherein a student was having affair with the faculty member. She got married. After that marriage, husband came to know about that relationship, filed a complaint again in the police station. That fellow was behind the bar for 4 days, 5 days. He is on the road as on day. So that's the reason time and again I am saying this is a weapon given in your hand. Use it rightly. Then only, you know, I think your question is unanswered. So your question is basically, you know, once that guy has given everything to the company, why he has to undergo that? But that lady, she directly is approaching to the police. You know, ICC would be helpless. They will say that, you know, what we can do? We can't do anything. Police has to take their own course of action. And you know, in police station, if you tell them that this is ICC, this is new law, they don't understand. They don't understand. That's the problem. That's a practical problem I have faced in one of the cases. Thank you.
Now I request Ms. Payal Oberoi to come and propose a formal vote of thanks.